When I was younger, I didn't even know what mental health was. Like I didn't. If you ask me to explain what it was, I wouldn't be able to. But what I know for sure now is that at the time, like 1.5 years ago to 3 years ago, my mental health was at its worst. I was slowly getting depressed. I was actually addicted to video games, YouTube. Even though I was playing, stimulating my brain for hours and hours and hours on video games with my friends, I was becoming less and less and less happy with time. I hated. I remember I hated going outside. When when my mom wanted, like my family wanted to go buy some clothes, like we used at the time we used to like buy like our clothes like 2 3 times per year, but we used to like do some really big shopping, like a lot of clothes at one time. Like I know some families like take a little bit every week. We used to take like a lot, buy a lot of clothes, like do some big shopping 2 3 times a year. And when it was time to do that, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to my family. I just didn't enjoy going outside. I didn't enjoy leaving my house. And to be honest, even now I don't enjoy leaving my house that much. But it's because of other factors. And I enjoy going outside way more than I did in the past. I just don't sometimes don't enjoy like doing some unnecessary things outside. Like I go for a run every single morning. After recording this video, I'll go for a run again. And yeah, so yeah, like I said, I didn't enjoy going outside. When my mom asked me to go buy groceries, it made me so angry. I was so pissed off at her. I remember every time she asked me to go buy groceries, I would like become rude to her, and I would become like so anxious to leave my house. Like I couldn't even go buy groceries, even though the grocery store is not even 500 meters from here. But my mental health was so bad at the time, my discipline, mental health. Everything in my mind was broken. Everything was wrong at the time. And now I know for sure why it all happened. I was addicted to video games, addicted to YouTube. I didn't do anything productive in my life. I even tried to become a professional gamer because I thought that was productive. I thought it would make me happy because I know I could earn some money from it and I want to have like a purpose. I thought it would be really cool to flex with my friends and say, oh, I'm a professional gamer. I'll make a lot of money from this video game. The video game I used to play at the time was famous. It was like Fortnite. And every time I had to log off of the game, I wasn't happy. I was playing, like I still remember during the corona, like the COVID, the lockdown, I used to play all day. When I wasn't doing important homeworks, when I wasn't eating, when I wasn't sleeping, I was playing video games. I remember in the beginning of the COVID lockdown, my mom bought me like a game called it was like it had like a reduction in price, like 50%. It was a game Spider-Man on PS4. My mom bought it and remember that the game is fairly long. And I finished the game, like I finished the story mode. And I think 2.5 days. Because during those 2.5 days, I played all day when I wasn't eating, when I wasn't doing some quick tasks. I was playing. I didn't stop playing. I was constantly playing that game. And in 2.5 days, I finished that game. If you haven't played that game, Spider-Man on PS4, the first one, you cannot tell how long that game is. Story mode is fairly long. Like it's not the longest one, but it's fairly long. And I finished it in 2.5 days. No, I think even I wouldn't just say 2.5. I would say 2 days exactly. Like that's how fucked up my lifestyle was. How I used to live. No wonder I was depressed at the time. When I look back, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And school is something, is another factor that used to also affect my mental health negatively. And even now, I'm still at school, and even though my mental health has improved a lot, at the time, school was making my mental health was already down here, but school was putting even lower. Like, school is really, really good at messing up teenagers' mental health. That's something I realized over the years. Firstly, you're forced to learn some things you're not interested in at all. Especially me, I'm not interested in getting some normal job. I'm interested in business, doing this, sharing my knowledge, everything I learn about self improvement. Those are the things I'm interested in. I'm happiest when I'm working on my business. I'm happiest when I'm learning from some smart people. And when I go to school, I just am able to do that. I'm happiest when I do some really hard physical activities. In school, I'm not able to really do that. Yeah, I'm school. I'm able to do some hard physical activities with my friends during the recess. I can play some football and be really competitive. But outside of that, I don't enjoy. It's mostly outside of the social life. There's nothing really enjoyable in school for me. And at the time, when I was doing video games, my social skills were terrible. So even my social life was dead. So the only aspect of school that could be enjoyable at the time wasn't for me because I had no social life. Like I had some friends, but we weren't even that close. That yeah, school is really good at doing that, at destroying students' mental health. First, you're forced to go to school, like you have to pull up at 8 a.m. You get some bullshit homeworks, or you have to make some random presentation about some random team that you don't even know about and not interested in. And especially for people, for young men or self-improvement like me, it's really rare and hard to find some people that have a very similar mindset to you, some people that have very similar goals to you. Like I've been able with time to find some friends that have some not even sim I wouldn't say similar goals, but some goals that are similar to mine. When it comes to fitness, for example, I've the people in my friend group at school at least are people that are very interested in sports, that play sports a lot, like me. But I still train way more than them. But still, they don't have similar business goals to me. Like I have one that does like drop shipping, but he doesn't have really that, and he also watches entertainment, but he doesn't have such like some big ambitions. But yeah, I'm sorry for going on the rant right now. But yeah, my mental health was getting really, really bad, and it was getting worse and worse with time until I discovered Hamza. At the time, I was a little bit interested in self improvement, becoming a better version of yourself, becoming more disciplined, becoming stronger physically, more athletic, and all those things. And I wasn't able to take action on like do the good habits that will lead me to my goals. And at the time, Hamza was frequently giving advice like saying, if you want to be able to become more productive, if you right now you're stuck in a rut, you're not able to do the good habits, then take at least 2 weeks of your life where you focus completely on mental health, where you're really focused on mental health and you do the right things. And he always said, if you improve your mental health, doing the good habits is going to be easy. Wait, I'm gonna check if I'm still recording because I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, I'm still recording. Okay, good. Mm. So I always said that mental health was um wait a little interruption during the video. He always said that mental health was really important. He always um preached about mental health, and because I wanted to become productive, I listened to it, and it worked. As I improved my mental health, I became more productive. As I became happier, I became more productive. I want to say thank you to him. He truly changed my life. Yesterday, like I joined his Adonis Academy and then Adonis School 2 days ago, and yesterday I just wrote him a message there telling him that I'm really grateful for the past 15 months, 15, no, 16 months. I've been on self improvement and drastically changing my life thanks to him. So yeah. So what's the reason why I'm making this video? The reason why I'm making this video, firstly, mental health is really important, and for a long time I didn't know what the importance of mental health. And even when I discovered the importance of mental health, I didn't know what I should do to actually improve my mental health, to actually make my mental health better. So that's one of the reasons I'm making this video. And this video will probably won't be my longest video ever. And it's because long form guides like Huberman style videos, like the recent videos Hamza's been making, the videos Andrew Huberman makes, like those podcast style videos, are the ones that help me the most. Where these are the ones that are packed with information about a certain team. Those are the type of videos that truly, truly help me. Where I truly learn from, when I have a little piece of paper where I take some notes. So I recommend you to take a little piece of paper, and every time you think about how you could take action on something I said, write it on that little piece of paper. Take some notes. So I want to educate you about mental health, and I want you to also share things from research, statistics, and things I've learned from really smart people, smarter people than me. And I also want to share you some actionable steps you can literally do right now to drastically improve your mental health, because it's very important. I have like a script right here. That's why I'm sometimes looking down, because I want to make this video really valuable. That's why I have like a script about the main points I want to get across, and it's pretty long. I never had such a long script, but I really want to make sure that with this video is very, very valuable. Depression, anxiety, all the symptoms of bad mental health are rising really fast. Mental health is getting worse over the years. Teenagers are getting more and more depressed. I saw a study, like I saw a statistic. All the statistics and study I use in this video I will put a link of it in the description. But here, right here, I have like suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29 years old. Fourth. Like we've gotten to a point where suicide has become one of the main causes of death in the world. And that's really dangerous. People end their lives because they're unhappy, because they're depressed, they're anxious, they're satisfied with their lives, and all those things are symptoms of bad mental health. Even you, if you're watching this video right now, you may experience some small symptoms of mental health, bad mental health. It can be depression, anxiety, or even both at the same time. I still remember when I was at the time when my life was really at its lowest point. I would say anxiety was the biggest factor of my bad mental health, like the biggest symptom. I was a little bit depressed, but I was really, really anxious, really anxious. The mental health issues are rising drastically, drastically. And I still remember a story. I had like a student in my class 2 years ago. She's still in my class, and now she's getting better. I think her mental health is improving, but she still like smokes and everything. But yeah, we're not gonna talk. I'm not gonna go into details. But I remember she had cuts on her wrist. She was 13 at the time, and she had cuts on her wrist like this, multiple cuts here. And I was 13 at the time, 13, 12. And I think I realized a little bit what was wrong. I realized that it wasn't right, but I didn't think about it much. I think if I saw it now, I would definitely do something, ask her. But at the time, I was mostly pussy and I didn't have any social skills, so I'm not shocked that I didn't do anything. But those cuts on her wrist maybe mean that, like, it obviously means that she was harming herself intentionally. And for a 12-year-old girl to do that means that there's something severely wrong with her mental health. And that girl, she's someone. I'm not gonna say her name because of respect and yeah. I'm not surprised that I know it sounds horrible, but I'm not that surprised that her mental health was at worst when I saw how she lived her life, and even now how she lives her life now. She's 15 now and she smokes very regularly, and I realize most of the time mental health issues are not caused because of genetics and all those things. Most of the time, mental health issues are caused, I would say, maybe even all the time, mental health issues are caused because of the lifestyle, habits, how the person lives, and all those things are not necessarily under that person's control. Like I said, school is really bad for mental health, but we kids are forced. We don't have a choice. We are forced to go to school until a certain point. We are forced to. And if after that certain point, if you leave like the education system before before getting like a high school diploma, like the thing you get after leaving school. If you leave school before that, after a certain point, after a certain class, I think after 10th grade, if you leave school before that, if you're not earning an income yet, you're forced to go to a job, right? You're forced to do it. If you cannot find a job, the school so you're going to search for one. So yeah, some of those factors are not under our control, but a lot of them are. You can do many, many, many different things to improve our mental health, to become healthier in the mind. That's what I want to teach you in this video. So, why are mental health issues rising so much? The first point is because of poor sleep. Like I said, because of school, the jobs we have right now, the jobs most people have, we have to leave the house very, very early. And for some people, come back at home very, very late. And for some reason, like school and most jobs are not optimized. Like school in most countries is not optimized for the workers and students in there to get good sleep. And in school, we don't even teach that. I still don't understand why, but we students are not taught how to sleep. Like, I know it sounds stupid. Some people may think, oh yeah, why should they teach you how to sleep? It's pretty simple. But it's actually not that simple. Like, they tell you, oh yeah, sleep 8 hours a day, yeah, a night. Yeah, yeah. Go sleep 8 hours. But there's way more into sleep than that. And just telling, oh yeah, go sleep 8 hours. And spending 8 hours in bed, like even someone that spent 8 hours in bed, that person is not sleeping for 8 hours. No, firstly, it takes some time to fall asleep. And even during the night, even when you don't realize it, you wake up during the night, even when you don't realize it. So if you want to sleep for 8 hours, spend at least 8 hours and 45 minutes in bed. And that's what I do right now. 8 hours and 45 minutes. And you can go up to 9 hours and 30 minutes. You can go up to 10 hours if you want even more sleep. But sleep is very important. And later on, firstly, I'm going to tell you, in this video, I'm going to tell you all the reasons why mental health problems are rising so much. All the reasons why you may have bad mental health. And then I'm going to tell you how to fix them, how to improve your mental health in general. So right now, I'm not going to go into the little detail with sleep, but later on, I'm going to. So the certain factor wise, drugs and addictions. Addictions to physical drugs, social medias, video games, and Netflix, etc. So, like I said, I was addicted to video games for a long time. I was playing for 8 to 12 hours a day. When I came back from school, the first thing I did play video games with my friends. And even though sometimes I had fun playing with my friends, especially when I played with my friends. When I played alone, it wasn't as fun. But when I played with my friends, I had a little bit of fun, we were laughing, we were a little bit competitive with each other. Even though I had a little bit of fun. When I turned my PS4 off, I wasn't happy anymore. I wasn't happy anymore. And those hours spent on video games were making my mental health worse and worse with time. I was becoming less and less happy with time, thanks to video games, thanks to the hours, the days I spent on them. So it's drugs in general. I see video game as a drug. I see social media as a drug. So drugs in general are very, very dangerous. And I'll say right now, I still struggle a little bit with the YouTube addiction. Like I often see myself, like I some from time to time, at the end of the day, spending some time watching some BS, unnecessary videos on YouTube. But it has improved a lot. Like I used to spend 8 hours every day on YouTube. Now I spend like when it happens, I spend still very, very little time on YouTube. But on some days I will spend like 3 hours watching some BS on YouTube randomly without even realizing it. So those addictions are not easy to get rid of. Like I've been working for the past year on getting rid of this addiction, and to be honest, even though I've become extremely disciplined. I wake up at 4:30 right now. Right now it's 5:24, and I'm recording this video. I worked on this video for the last week. I spent like hours researching, making this video. I've become really disciplined. I go run every single day. After this video, I will go for a run. I train really, really hard. Train a lot, even martial arts. I have a really disciplined life. I've become very disciplined, and still, I find myself watching BS on YouTube. Still, I find myself going back to my addictions, going back to some of my bad habits. And on some days, I will spend the whole day doing the bad habits. It will happen from time to time. So addictions are not easy to get rid of, especially like All of them are hard to get rid of. I cannot really talk about weed and porn, fapping, and like physical drugs in general because fapping, I'm never, like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'd never fapped in my life. So I don't really know much about it. But still, I think I can maybe give some people some advice how a fapping addiction because maybe the same thing that helped me to get rid of my addictions may help you with your addiction. So drugs like weed and all those things are also really, I can imagine how how much it can destroy someone's mental health. Like there's an app, a social media app that was created not so long ago called Be Real. Like I think it's similar to Instagram. I got some girls in my class constantly asked me when it first came out, "Oh yeah, install it. Oh, it's so cool, it's so cool." Right now, I don't have. I've deleted Instagram. I don't have social media outside of YouTube and WhatsApp, but those are not really social media. But I don't have social media anymore on my phone. And that app called Be Real. I think every day you have to like post a photo of yourself and what you're doing. Like it's fucked up. It's weird. But every time like girls in my class get like a Be Real notification during class, like I think there's a certain time when they have to take a photo every day. And when I have like a Be Real notification during class. And firstly, disclaimer, in my school, we're not allowed to use our phones on campus. But yeah, some people, a lot of people violate that rule because, like I said, most people. We're going to talk about statistics later, but most youths are addicted to their phones. Like I think I'm the only one in my class, one of the only ones in my class that actually turns his phone off during class. And we actually, that's actually one of the rules in class. And it's not because I'm like such a good boy and I like to follow the rules in school. I've broken. I'm not gonna say it right here, but yeah, I turn my phone off in school because I see that as a time when I don't use my phone at all. Right now, for working, I use my phone for recording this video. But when I'm shooting a video or researching, my phone, I don't use it even once. My phone notifications are constantly turned off. But when girls in my class, I want to back to the story. When girls in my class get like a Be Real notification during class, like one girl screams like, "Oh yeah, guys, be real!" And then they all take their phone out, take a quick photo without the teacher realizing it, then check other people's Be Real stories. Like I know it doesn't sound like much, but when I notice there's a Be Real notification that literally take their focus away from the task at hand, just to quickly, I'll quickly take a picture and sometimes take a picture of the teacher if without his consent, and then yeah, they just post it. But I just want to really imagine, try to imagine the reaction, like a girl like screams, "Oh yeah, be guys, be real!" And then everyone's like, "Oh!" And they take the phone off really quick, really quick, to make their own post. Like that's the point we've gotten to. The direction. That's the point we've gotten to. Like it's becoming truly bad, truly bad. Instagram was already bad, but they had to create a new app. I saw a statistic again that 70% of teens and young adults have a social media addiction. 70%. Wait, I'm gonna calculate it right now. 7 billion. Um. Oh no, I don't even. Yeah, never mind. I wanted to like see around how many people it was, but never mind. But 70% of teens and young adults have a social media addiction. That's really If you really think about it, that's really bad. 7 in 10 teens and young adults you see walking by you in the street, 7 out of 10 of them are addicted to social media, have a social media addiction, use too much social media. Most, like more than half of teens and young adults are addicted to social media. That's, if you think about it, that's horrible. That's really, really bad. And I can't even totally blame them because those things are so addictive. They are so, so addictive. Like I said, I'm someone, I've been working on this for last year. I've become very, very disciplined. And still, from time to time, I still find myself watching BS on YouTube. And there will be some days, those are rare, when I spend the whole day on YouTube. They are very rare, but they happen. Even though I've been working on this, I've been focusing on this for the last year. That's how addictive they are. So I can't blame those 70% of people because it's very, very, very hard. And I'm honestly part of those 70% because if I can have, I would say I don't have total control over how much I use social media. I still find myself, if you don't have total control over how much you use a substance, you are addicted. If sometimes you use a substance even though you like to do something else, you're addicted. Sometimes the craving you get are so strong that you can't say no to them. You are addicted. I would say, yeah, I'm part of the 70%. Like, I've made some major improvements. My average screen time has reduced by like 5 to 6 hours, but still, I'm part of the 70%. And you watching this video, you're probably too. I'm pretty sure that you're also addicted. You're also part of 7%. And some people may think, oh, no, 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 I just spend 2 hours a day on social media. Those 2 hours are probably more like five. I also saw a statistic saying that 105.6 million people are addicted to video games. And during the COVID lockdown, the average time spent on streaming platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus and all those things was the average time for someone, like the average time the adults spent on streaming platforms during the 2020 pandemic was 1 hour and 11 minutes. Like, if I want to think about it, 1 hour and 11 minutes may not seem like much, but if they're spending 1 hour and 11 minutes on streaming platforms, most of those people are also spending time on Instagram, and those that may be like 2 hours. Then they're also spending time on YouTube, that may be like 3 hours. So if you combine this time together, if you try to imagine in your head, those people are wasting a lot of time. And 1 hour and 11 minutes is the average. Probably, for that to be the average, there are probably some people that are about 8 hours, and I was one of them. I wasn't an adult, so I'm probably not part of the study. But I, during the 2020 pandemic, I would spend hours on Netflix watching like shows like Riverdale and um, I think there was another show called like The Messed Up Life of Sabrina, like that weird show about, yeah. So I was watching, I spending like, I would say 5 hours on Netflix on average, 4 hours on Netflix on average during the first lockdown at least. Like, that's a lot. So yeah, the third reason why most people like mental health issues are running so much is because of stress and anxiety from school and work. Like I said before, school and the education system is really good at destroying mental health, but work is even better. Work is probably even better at it, or as good. It depends on the job. But a lot of laws just about mental health is way better during holidays than this during school time. During holidays, I'm so much happier. I want to say something. During the time I first started to really be able to take some consistent action on my self improvement journey was during the like the like it was during holidays. It was during like the two weeks early holidays in I think April 1 year ago. That's when I was able to take action and really start to get consistent with my good habits. And then afterwards, I started to like get a snowball effect, and I was able to keep going. But still, during holidays, I'm way more productive. I'm way happier than during school time. Right now, it's a weekend, and it's like Sunday today, but even on Monday and Tuesday, it's gonna be we don't have school because it's like some holiday or Friday or I don't know. But during holidays, I'm so much happy. I'm so much more productive than during school time. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this because school, work, all those things, they're so good at messing up your mental health. If you're doing a job, if you're working on a job that interests you, that you're passionate about, then yeah, I'm sure it's not making your mental health worse. If your job is making your mental health worse, then you should probably not do that. Not do it. You should probably be doing something else. But my mental health is way worse during school time than it is during holidays. During holidays, I'm so happy because I feel free. I can work my business all day. I can read. I can just, I have control over my life. I have freedom. I have the option to decide what I want to do. I'm not forced by an authoritative figure to do something I'm not interested in doing. Like we students are forced to learn things that we're not really interested in. It's like I always say this to my mom, but like I felt the feeling like over the last year I've learned more. I've learned more valuable things, way more valuable things by reading books, researching through podcasts and everything on my self improvement journey. I've learned way more things than during 10 years in the education system. Like I spent 10 years where I've went to school for 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours a day. And still, at the end of the day, I would say I've learned way more during 1 year of actually learning some things that I'm interested in. Just from learning myself. I've learned way more doing that. And I remember a conversation I had with like a girl, like a woman that works on my like teeth, like I have like braces. And she was working on my braces one day. And we always have some conversations when she does it. And we talked about school. And then she says, I'm so happy I'm not in school anymore because I don't have to learn anymore. And I was like, It was really like, Because in school we're forced to learn some random things that we don't even like. We end up Most people end up despising learning in general because I think, oh yeah, learning is boring, but learning is not fun at all because of school, because what school taught them, because school made them learn in an unproductive way, because school forced them to learn many things that they didn't even like. Now most people think that learning is boring. And I, even I, before getting some proof, I thought learning was boring, but now I truly enjoy learning. I spend hours learning every day. Another reason why why mental issues are rising so much is because of bad physical and hormonal health. I have statistics right here, and obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Nearly tripled. One in four adults do not meet the recommended levels of physical activity. And those recommended level of physical activities, they are not high. They're not that high. Like they probably like they say some things like go for a walk for like 10 minutes. Like those recommended levels of physical activity, they are not high at all. And one in four adults do not meet those standards. In 2016, more than 1.9 billion adults were overweight, and over 650 million of those were obese. 1.9 billion adults were overweight, and that number is probably higher now. I hope it's lower, but it might be higher. Maybe we are 2 billion now. Like we're slowly getting close to the level where half the population is obese. Like we're close again to that level. More than 80% of adolescents are insufficiently active. More than 80%. Even though adolescents are supposed to have so much energy and everything, over time we spend less and less time working out, just moving, going for walks, running like kids. We don't do that anymore. And now we get to statistics about hormonal health. Average testosterone lies between 300 and 1000 nanograms per deciliter. And it may sound high, but the average testosterone has dropped by 205 nanograms per deciliter since the 1970s. By 205 nanograms per deciliter, the average testosterone. So in the 1960s, 1970s, the average testosterone was, I would say, by if you do the math, between 505 nanograms per deciliter and 1205 nanograms per deciliter. And it may not sound a lot, but it's a lot. And in the 1970s, the testosterone was already starting to drop a lot. Testosterone has been dropping drastically over the last decade, the last 100 years. It has been dropping more and more and more and more and more. And there are multiple reasons for that. First, the rising use of plastic is estrogenics, bad diets, lack of men that are becoming less and less responsible. Men are becoming acting less and less masculine. When you try to act masculine, when you try to become a man, you're seen as toxic masculine nowadays. You're seen as a bad person. And average testosterone in the 1800s has been estimated because at that time they couldn't like they weren't really able to, because technology was not really advanced, they weren't really able to calculate testosterone at the time. But in the 1800s, average testosterone has been estimated to be like the low, like I said, average testosterone now lies between 300 and 1000 nanograms per deciliter. At that time, the lower end of the spectrum has been estimated due to testicle size, like due to the size of their their balls, because of some books that they found had been estimated to be like the lower end of the average, like the lower end of the equation has been estimated to be in 900 nanogram per deciliter. But there's certain estimation, so we don't want to take that it as seriously. But I can imagine why it could have been that high. They don't have that much plastic. They weren't eating some bullshit. They were most eating natural foods. Men were still masculine. It wasn't seen as something bad. Men still have responsibilities. And another reason why mental health issues are rising so much is because of bad diet. I'm not going to go into details into that because I think most people know how bad the average diet is now. Like the amount of sugar, estrogenics we're consuming, that also causes bad hormonal health. So many things. Super processed foods. And another reason why is trauma. Like I don't really my understanding of trauma is not that high. So I won't really be able to help with this. Like when I was younger, when I was really young, I experienced some things about things that may have caused some trauma with like some family issues, like some big family issues. I'm not going to go into details into it right now, but as my understanding of trauma increases, I will make a full guide on it. Also, I'll make like a full guide like this one on trauma and how we can improve it. If by the time you're watching this video is already out, then just go research it and like just go look at it after this one, so this video. But trauma, I can imagine why trauma causes bad mental health, and I think we can all imagine why. And it's actually not that hard to get traumatized. You don't have to like see someone brutally get murdered in front of you to get trauma. No, even some a little bit smaller things can cause trauma. And if you think you have trauma, I still like don't get discouraged now. Say, oh yeah, the video can help me. No, and I'm 100% sure that if you implement the steps I will give you later on in the video, even if you have trauma, you can drastically improve your mental health. Another reason why mental health issues are rising so much is because of overindulgence and dopamine spiking activities. A lot of people talk about dopamine, or yeah, dopamine detox and all of it, but not a lot of people understand it. And I wouldn't say I'm a professional, I'm far from it, but I watch multiple podcasts from Andrew Women where he talk about dopamine and how it works. Like dopamine is like the hormone responsible for motivation, drive, and craving. Like the level of dopamine circulating through your body, like is like will determine firstly how excitable you are, how motivated you are, and how like outward facing you are during your life. So if you have lower dopamine, you have also have bad mental health. So I was explaining something to you about dopamine. When you prepare to engage in like a very pleasurable activity, like for example, play video games, watching porn, watching Netflix, eating some really sugary food, your dopamine level spikes. Like it goes up when you firstly prepare to engage in that activity, and when you engage in that activity, and if it and depending on how good it feels, and then afterwards, something with dopamine that I've learned from Andrew Huberman and really smart neuroscientists is that every time dopamine goes up, like every time there's a spike in dopamine, it has to go back down. And when it goes back down, there's a baseline. When it goes back down, it always goes below baseline. So every time you indulge in like overstimulating activities, video game, drugs, Netflix, junk food, porn, there's maybe a quick spike in dopamine, but afterwards it drops down below baseline. So every time you indulge in those activities, your baseline becomes lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and your average dopamine becomes lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So you become less motivated. You become more depressed, you become less excitable, become less outward facing in your life. But the reverse works too. When you prepare, you voluntarily and prepare to engage in like a hard, challenging, uncomfortable activity. Like for example, going for a long run. Dopamine level firstly drops below baseline, and then it comes back up above baseline. So when you prepare and engage in a hard, uncomfortable, difficult activity, afterwards your dopamine will be higher. But your baseline dopamine will be higher than it was before. So yeah, I would also want to say there is a possibility that to be genetically depressed, but it's fairly unlikely first. And being genetically depressed doesn't mean you cannot improve your mental health. Doesn't mean you cannot get out of it. It just means you're a little bit more likely than some other people to be depressed. So some people may think, oh yeah, I should have said it previously, like earlier in the video. Some people may think, I'm genetically depressed. I need some medications to improve my mental health. Being like genetically depressed just means that you're a little bit more likely to be depressed than other people. But if you do the right things, you can still have some amazing mental health if you work on it. Being genetically depressed, if you're genetically depressed, it doesn't mean you have to be depressed. It just means that you will become depressed a little bit faster than other people. So if right now you're depressed, even if you're genetically depressed, you still become depressed because of your lifestyle, because of your actions. And if you do the right things, even if you're genetically depressed, your mental health can still improve, can still become really, really great. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I think also one of the reasons why like depression and anxiety and bad mental health is rising so much, it's because of lack of purpose. Most people live non-purposeful lives. You work in jobs that we don't like. You go to school and learn things but we don't like, are not aligned to a purpose. Most of us don't even know what our purpose is. We become polarized because we're taught, men are taught not to be masculine, women are taught not to be feminine. We become depolarized. You don't have our priorities in check. Yeah. So now in this part of the video, I will get into the actionable step you can take to improve your mental health. I will go into details about how you can improve every single aspect I've talked about beforehand, like sleep, addictions, and everything. Now I'm gonna give you some actionable steps to improve those things. So the first thing, how to improve your sleep. Firstly, go to bed at the same time every night. Every night. Like a lot of people are not able to do it. Most people go to bed at a certain time during or like on weekdays, and then during weekends they go to bed at another time later on or later or sooner, and that's not good at all for your sleep. And you go to bed at a certain time every single day, your body will start to get sleepy at that similar at that like at that time around that time, and you're gonna be able to fall asleep way sooner. Like if you struggle to fall asleep, it may just be that you go to sleep at too much different time. That's so like that's a true big like a big difference between when you go to sleep during weekdays and when you go to sleep during weekends. So find a way to go to sleep at the same time every night. If you truly want to improve sleep, that's the first step. If you cannot do that first step, then all the other advice I'm going to give you about sleep right now is going to be useless. Go to sleep at the same time every night. I also try to wake up around the same time every morning. Have a bedtime, write it down in your calendar, and go to bed. If, for example, it's 10 p.m., then yeah, find a way to go to bed every night at 10 p.m. I know it may happen sometimes that you have like some event that makes it impossible for you to go to bed at that time, but you want to be able to go to bed at the same time every like 85% of the nights in your life at least. Second thing, have like a night routine, have like an unwind routine, have some things you do before going to bed. And the main purpose of of night routine, of an unwind routine, is to decrease your heart rate, and if possible decrease your your body temperature. Those are the things. Those are some necessary things for you to fall asleep. So in your night routine, you want to absolutely have a breathing practice, because controlling your breath, breathing a certain way, is one of the best ways to control your heart rate and to lower it. So how I personally do it is I breathe deeply to my nose, like I lay down on the floor, I put like a yoga mat on the floor, then I lay down on my back. And then I breathe deeply into my nose, like, and then out to my mouth. I have a timer like that for like 15 minutes, and I do that. And before doing the breath work, I stretch. I stretch my whole body for like 2 to 3, 4 minutes. I stretch, and it just helped me to relax my body, because after stretching, after doing some static stretching, your body's more relaxed. So I like to do it. I do my stretching before my breath work. So I stretch, then I do my breath work, and yeah, so you can also stretch before, but try to have like an unwind routine where you do some breath work. I find that doing it on the floor is so much better, because when you do it, like I try to breathe deeply, like sitting down is a bit awkward and everything. But then on the floor, it's just so relaxed. So I put a yoga mat, just lay down straight up on the floor, put a yoga mat on the floor, and then lay down on it and do your breath work. Something else you can add. I don't do it personally, do it, but something else you can add to into your unwind like night routine is or hot shower. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, because I said that your goal is to reduce your body temperature, like for it to make your body colder. But it has been shown that when you like firstly take a cold shower, that's why it's not recommended to take a cold shower before bed, like in the 4 hours prior to your bedtime. It's because when you like, for example, take a cold shower, or during the cold shower, your body's really cold. But afterwards, the minutes and hours afterwards, because your body wants to heat up, because it's really uncomfortably cold right now, your body temperature is going to rise for the minutes after leaving the cold shower. That's something I've learned from Andrew Rubin. And the reverse works too. When you take a hot shower, hot bath, maybe go into sauna, afterward, after leaving the shower, your body temperature starts declining. Your body starts to get colder and colder. That's why I don't know if you realize it. If you notice it, when you sometimes take like a cold or hot shower for too long, like a really long hot bath or hot shower, sometimes afterwards you feel a little bit more cold, afterwards, because your body wants to um get back to good temperature. Another tip some people said is to avoid light in the last hours before bed, and to also sleep in a totally dark room. And right now I'm not really able to do that well, because firstly we're slowly getting into summer, so sun goes down really late, and I go to bed at 8 p.m. So when I go to bed, firstly the sun is still out, and I'm trying to I don't have like the things that I cover my windows in my room are not that good. So I'm gonna change them to a bigger, like, I don't know what it's called. I don't know the name. I don't know if they're called sheets or like the things that you put on the window to for the light to avoid lights getting into a room. So I'm not able to do it that to do it well right now because of it. So I'm gonna just change the things I cover my window. I'm gonna take a bigger one so that I'm able to sleep first in this totally dark room, and so that the hours leading up to bed that I'm able to avoid as much light as possible. So I remember during winter I was able to fall asleep so much easier and sleep so much better because no light was getting into my room. No light was getting into my room. My room was solely dark during the night. And the few hours prior to my bedtime, I had like a little light I turned on to be able to read. But outside of it, I had very little light. And that's why my sleep was a little bit better during winter than during summer. So I'm just gonna have to change the thing covering my windows. I'm going to do it in the near future. So avoid sunlight before. Avoid light, not necessarily sunlight, even blue lights on phone. If you necessarily have to use it, if you necessarily using your phone or computer before bed, not so long before bed, I sometimes watch a podcast before my unwind routine. So I on my phone and computer are on always on like this weird mode called I don't remember the name. The mode is called I think um yeah I don't remember the name, but it's a mode like that makes the light coming out of your phone a little bit more yellow, a little bit weird. So it won't disturb your sleep if you turn that mode on, like a yellow light mode. I don't know the name, like the exact name. I search out what sunlight, what light during the hours prior to bedtime, but getting sunlight early in the day will help improve your sleep quality. It has been proven scientifically. I won't state the studies, but I've learned it from Andrew Huberman, so you can go watch his podcast. He has multiple podcasts where he talk about sunlight and everything. So find a way to get sunlight before, like early in the day, in the first 3 hours of the day. It's very important. It's going to firstly help you fall asleep faster because your body first estimates when it's morning and when it's night a little bit better when you get sunlight very early in the day. So try to get sunlight as the early as possible. What I do right now is I work for 1 hour, 2 hours in the morning, and then I go for a run. So I wake up at 4:30, I work, and then I go for a jog for. It depends on weekdays because I have school. I go on a short run. I go like on a 5 minute run. I run like 1.5 kilometers. But today, for example, after this video, I'm gonna run for 5.5 kilometers for like 25 minutes. Find a way to get sunlight early in the day, very early. It's really important for sleep. So yeah, now we get into the getting rid of addiction part. So as I said, I struggled with addiction for a long time, and I've found that the best way to get rid of addictions is to find an activity to replace it with. Find a new activity that's productive that you're going to spend most of your free time with. So if you're someone that takes something really seriously, and if you're watching this video, I hope you are. Do that activity, in my personal opinion, when you're not working your business, when you don't have when you have time, when you have free time, you should spend most of your free time learning from books and podcasts. That's something I've learned from Hamza in this video called 4 Step Monk Mode Protocol. And yeah, just find an activity to replace that's productive to replace your bad habit with. And I have two activities I have reading and podcast. Most of my free time is spent reading and watching podcasts, informational podcasts, not just bullshit. Like Andrew Huberman, Chris Williamson, Diary of a CEO, and Hamza's news video style. And that's also why I want to do just long form videos now. Because I personally mostly only watch those long form videos. And I don't want my subscribers and the people that follow me to watch. I don't want them. I want to give them the content that I know that I myself wouldn't watch. So find start every time you have free time instead of now going to YouTube, going to Netflix, taking drugs. Spend that time every time you have some free time. Read, watch an informational podcast related to your goals. And in the beginning, it's not gonna be easy. Your addiction is not just gonna go away like this. You're gonna have to practice and do it for a long time. If you've been addicted for a long time, it's gonna take some time. Remember, I said earlier, I think myself, I haven't gotten totally rid of my addiction, even though I've been focused on it for a long time. So be patient, but never give up. Keep doing it. Find activities I would recommend reading and podcasts. And every time you have some free time, change your basic attack. Instead of instantly going to YouTube, every time you have free time, learn through books, podcasts. And also like do some things like working out. It's very important. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it later in this video. That just replace your basic attack. Your basic attack right now is playing video games. Your basic attack right now is watching YouTube. Your basic attack right now is watching Netflix. But now change it, replace it with reading books, watching podcasts. And like I said, you're going to fail multiple times, but never give up, keep going, and you're going to see some improvement. And one day you'll be able to totally get rid of your addiction. It's not going to be easy. Okay, for this part, we're going to talk about dealing with stress and anxiety. And I've noted, from in my opinion, the best ways, and it's also been essentially proven that those things that's very effective. We're going to talk again about breathing practices. Many breathing, like if you do them correctly, they can help to slow your heart rate down. And it's very important because when you're stressed, when you're anxious, when you're overthinking, your heart rate rises. You become less calm. When your heart rate is higher, you're less calm. You're more like alert, more alert. You're more reactive. So, true one of the really good ways to deal with stress, anxiety, reduce those things is to regularly, just intentionally reduce your heart rate. And breathing practices are, in my opinion, the best way to do that. So, like I said, before going to bed, I just do some breath work. And there are many different methods, like breathing practices you can do. So, the first one that I know that's really good is you can do what I do. That's what I personally do. I do like deep inhales to the mouth, to the nose, sorry, and then deep exhales to the mouth. I do that for like 15 minutes. And you can also do like physiological sighing. And I've heard from Andrew Huberman that this breathing method is the most effective um for getting rid of stress and anxiety quickly. I don't know why I don't do it. I just like the deep inhales to the nose and mouth better. But you can do also this one. So I'm gonna show you what physiological sighing is. So you breathe deeply into your nose like this until your lungs are full, and then you try to get in a little bit more air, just a little bit more, like this, and then you breathe out of your mouth. So that method, I don't remember the exact explanation, but it's been proven if you're under stress, just doing that 1 to 3 times, it's going to get rid of most of the stress. So yeah, I do this throughout the day where I notice myself being really, really stressed. And the third one is the Wim Hof breathing method. I wouldn't recommend you to do the Wim Hof breathing method before, like, prior to your bedtime, because this method is more like it increases your heart rate. It doesn't reduce your heart rate because like it like contains like some really fat. You need just at an extra like so I really recommend to do it prior to your bedtime. Do it like early in the morning if you want to. Just research Wim Hof breathing method. There's like some multiple videos on it in multiple languages. And then working out will also help with stress. And cardio is, in my opinion, and it's also has been scientifically proven to be the best exercise form for stress and anxiety because you train your body to adapt in those like to be calmer in those anxious fight or flight situations because when you exercise, especially when you do cardio, it's some you're actually stressed. Like it's very similar to when you're stressed, but it's under control because um you intentionally put yourself in that situation. And we can also go back to controlling your heart rate. When you do exercise, when you do like go for a run, do cardio, your heart rate rises. So your body gets you kind of training your body to be calmer under pressure, to be calmer in those situations of anxiousness, to be comfortable in those situations of anxiousness. And if you've noticed, because of I think it's because of some hormonal things, but after after doing cardio, after going for a long run, you always feel so happy, so relaxed. I think it has something to do with like hormones like endorphin and all those things. You just do more cardio and exercise regularly. The form of cardio that I do right now is running, um, hit like high intensity interval training, and martial arts. Those are the form of cardio I do. You can do one of them, or you can do all three like me. So for a run, I go run every morning. This morning, after this video, I'm gonna go for a 5.5 run. Then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna have a leg workout. Then I'm gonna train martial arts. Then I'm gonna shower, and yeah, for the rest of the day, I'm going to learn, maybe work on other videos. But do more cardio and do more working exercise more in general. It has some major mental health benefits, not just for stress and anxiety, but some other things even for some other things. And what I do is even during cardio, especially when I go for a run, I also focus on I try to control my breath. So when I go on like go for a run, I try to focus on breathing to my nose, and it depends on the pace I have. When I run like a one, I'll go for like a 1K run, like a 1 kilometer run. I'm not really able to breathe to my nose throughout all of it because I go at a really fast pace for the 1K. But when I go for 5.5K, like 5K run, like I did yesterday, 5.5K, I managed to breathe to my nose throughout like to at least inhale to my nose throughout the whole run. So when you do cardio, when you do go for runs, try to also focus on your breath during it, by doing it. Try to also practice breathing during by doing it. How I do it is when I run like at slow pace, I only breathe to my nose. But as I get faster or I get further into a run and getting a little bit tired, I breathe into my nose and I breathe out to my mouth like. And when you're in the beginning of a run, breathing to your nose is really hard. So for the first 20 seconds of a run, I really focus on just breathing to my nose and get used to it. Especially when my run is the first form of cardio I do in the day. The hidden martial arts can also help be amazing forms of cardio. And you can also do mindfulness practices to improve to get rid of anxiety and stress. Because when you're stressed and anxious, you're most of the time, I'll say all the time, overthinking, thinking too much, not being in the moment. And practices are gonna help to come back to the present moment. Stop overthinking. So you can do mindfulness meditation where you don't necessarily do some deep breathing, but you just focus on the natural flow of your breath. You focus on it, and when you notice maybe that your brain is going elsewhere as you think about something, don't get angry at it. Then don't get angry at yourself. Just bring back the focus to your breath. That's actually the effective part of meditation. Not the part when you focus on the breath, but bringing back a wandering mind to the present moment. That's the main point of meditation. So you can do like focus on your breath or focus on the sensations on your skin. So yeah. Um, Also become fitter and improve hormonal health. And I think to become fitter, it's a bit obvious. I talked about it for for like 2 minutes ago. Exercise more, eat healthier. It's it's a very simple concept that many people don't really understand. Exercise more, eat healthier. And yeah, do strength training, do cardio. I talked about HIIT. You can go for runs, do HIIT, train martial arts, exercise more in general. Don't just do strength training, and don't just do cardio. Do both, and also implement some type of stretching into your routine. Become just fitter. Become that guy that's able to run for like 10 kilometers without stopping once. Become really fit. Become stronger. Become that guy that in every room he goes, he's like considered as the strong guy. I've gotten into a level where in my school, every time in the class, I'm that muscular guy. And beside of it, I'm also the really flexible, with insane cardio guy. Become that guy. It will help with your mental health in general. When your body is healthy, most of the time, if you do the right things, also if you because you can look healthy physically and not be really healthy. But if your body is truly healthy, your mind most likely will follow. And with hormonal optimization, with hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and everything. First thing that that's something some important things you need to avoid to not reduce your testosterone. One of the main reasons why testosterone is so low now compared to like 100 years ago is because of so many things we added into our lifestyles, plastic, sugar, and everything. So many things we do that we didn't do 100 years ago. So try to avoid things like plastics, sugar, processed food. Avoid those things. And the things you can do to improve your testosterone, get enough sleep, exercise, and just live a healthy life. Just follow the steps I've said earlier in this video. Exercise more, do more cardio also, do some breath work, eat healthy. And yeah, and right now we're gonna go about onto diet. To eat healthier, just eat more natural foods. Eat foods that already existed 500 years ago. Eat fruits, vegetables, eggs, nuts, um, meat. Don't eat processed foods that just only sort of like, that only were created only like 50 years ago. No, eat foods that are more natural. Eat more natural. Have a more natural diet, and also avoid foods packaged in plastics. Like I said, plastic is not bad. It's really bad for hormonal health. So avoid plastic in general. If you want to buy meat, try to find meat to like buy like at the butcher. Or not go buy it in like the fridge, like in the plastic things. No, that's not good. Foods packaged in plastic in general aren't that good. Just eat more natural food. Eat like things that already existed many years ago. That's the best tip I can give you about diet. I may even make a whole video about diet in the future. How to keep your dopamine high. Cold showers have been proven to drastically improve your dopamine level because it's really uncomfortable. But yeah, just do more deliberately. put yourself in hard and comfortable situation. Do more challenging stuff. Exercise more. Have some hard workouts. Go for long runs. Work on your business and really try to really work, stay focused for a long time. And avoid easy, overstimulating activities. Video games, porn, this Netflix, even a little bit. Don't say, oh yeah, just only play video for 1 hour. Even 1 hour only. Most people don't play for 1 hour. It's just coping. But even 1 hour of video games is already bad for you. Avoid those easy, comfortable, overstimulating activities. Video games, porn, Netflix, drugs, all those things. Avoid them. Get rid of them. Those bad habits. Avoid always have conversations like do some healthy things. You can engage in dopamine, like some activities that raise your dopamine that are healthy. Talking to your mom, for example, talk to your family. Those are some health activities you can do. Spend your free time reading books, doing some healthy things, not always overstimulating your brain. Avoid overstimulating your brain. A big part of your day is to be spent doing some hard and comfortable activities, exercising, working hard on your business, doing some deep work. I've been recording for this video for over 1 hour, I think. And I spent in total, I would say 10 to 12 hours researching, scripting, and recording this video. It hasn't been easy, but it was fun at the same time. It was challenging. Do more hard things. Do less easy, comfortable, or simulating things. If you don't know your purpose, so yeah, like I said earlier on, not knowing your purpose may be one of the reasons why not mental health is bad. It's not at a level you want it to be. So if you don't know your purpose, firstly, spend time thinking, contemplating, journaling about it. And at some point, you're going to get a quick vision, maybe about what you want to do. And when you get that vision, even if you're not sure that it's your purpose, instantly start taking action. Instantly start spending your whole day doing that thing. And it's only through action that you're going to realize if it's your purpose or not. You're going to know it. I can't really explain it, but you're going to know if it is or not. Right now, my purpose is really making these videos. This is my priority in my life. Making these videos, sharing what I learned on my self-improvement journey, and also increasing my income, increasing how much money I make, and giving my mom the option to retire. That's my current purpose, and that's why I align my whole life to it. So if you don't know your purpose, like I said, spend time thinking, journaling. Like at some point, some few months ago, I thought my purpose was wrestling. Like I spent time thinking, journaling about purpose. I didn't even really know what it was, and I thought it was wrestling. So I started taking action like I started spending hours and hours and hours every day training for wrestling. But then I realized it wasn't my purpose, and then I started thinking again and just try to notice what my purpose was. Then I have a vision that it was this was my purpose, and then I started taking this really, really seriously, making more videos, spending more time researching about videos, how to become a better storyteller, how to make script better videos, how to be better on camera, how to talk in a more charismatic way. And I realized that this was my purpose. This is what I want to do. Just spend more time thinking and try to find your purpose. And another thing to improve your mental health is building amazing relationships with people with like-minded people that have similar mindsets, similar goals to you. Being around, like having all these friends, but those friends being friends with people that don't really think like you, that are not really similar to you, that don't really have similar goals to you. It already feels better than having no friends, but it doesn't feel that good. It's not that great. It doesn't really feel that's great. You don't feel You just feel less happy in general. But being friends with some men, young men around your age that have similar goals to you is amazing. Like I said earlier in this video, I joined another school 2 days ago. I started using it yesterday, and I've already had some amazing conversations with people that have very similar goals to me. Some young men around the same age as me that have very, very similar goals to me. And we've had some real deep conversations. We talk about things, about our goals. And I already have six people, six like-minded people with whom I can talk now about my goals. And I can listen to them talking about their goals, talking about their purpose. And until you have it, you won't realize how amazing it is. Sadly, when you get on self-improvement, when you start being so much different than normal people, finding friends is going to be harder and harder. But since I joined Adonai School, the community at Hamza made, and paid community, I've never known so many people at the same time. I never talked with so many people in one day that had so many similar goals to me. I've never really talked to people that have very similar goals to me, to be honest. And yesterday, after joining that community, I was able to talk with six different people, six different young men that just DM me and say, "Oh yeah, hey bro," and some that I DM at first, and they said we just said, "Oh yeah, hey bro," so this guy DM me, "Oh, hey bro, I saw you were 16. Um, I just want to ask, what are you currently working on?" And when someone asks you that, you just feel so hyped. When you have like conversation with normal people, you never have such deep conversations with them. When you have this conversation with some of my friends in school, we always joke around, always joke around, never take ourselves seriously. We never talk about some deep shit. When you have a young man DM you, tell you, asking you, what are you currently working on? You just feel so hyped, man. Like, I think currently I know school is the best way to make friends with people on self-improvement. Best way. And I've only joined yesterday, so in one day I've already made some six friends with people that are like-minded, and one of them lives in the same city as me. And we're gonna have a workout in the near future together. How amazing is that? The last thing, oh, this video was long. The last thing is to just challenge yourself more. Set some hard goals that you know won't be easy to achieve. Not too hard, but not like impossible to achieve, but some hard goals. I have my goals right here. First goal, earn 2,500 euros in December. That's my goal for 2023. It's not going to be easy, but I know I can do it. I know it's possible. It's going to be really hard, but I know it's possible. But it's a challenge. It's going to be challenging to achieve. You should do multiple things today that are very challenging. I've recorded this video for over 1 hour now. And directly afterwards, I would have a really long, I would train for a long time. Like I said, I would go for a 5.5 kilometer run. And then I would come back, have a leg workout, then train martial arts, then shower. And then for the rest of the day, I would just learn, eat, maybe work on other videos. And yeah, that would be my day. Just challenge yourself more. Like yesterday, that 5.5k run, I ran for like 5.5k without stopping even once. I ran in like 28 minutes, and it was challenging and it was fun. It wasn't easy, but it was fun at the same time. Like to be honest, I was hyped for the whole run. I was like having fun beforehand. I didn't really want to go, but During the run, it was truly enjoyable. Truly enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. But it was at the same time really hard and challenging. But after the run, I was happy. I was happy, and before the run, challenge yourself more. Spend more time doing challenging activities. Avoid those easy, comfortable, overstimulating activities. Challenge yourself more in general. Set hard goals to achieve and work hard towards them. That's it for the video. Wow, that was a long one. The longest video I've ever recorded. And probably the most valuable one. If you got, like, I worked really hard on this video. I put in a lot of time scripting, researching, and also recording like you've seen. If you got any value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Because I'm sure that if you subscribe, you will be able to see more of my videos like this. If you got value from this video, I'm sure other of my like the videos I'm gonna make in the future, you're gonna find them even more valuable. So if you got value from this video, subscribe and also like the video because it can also help. It will make the video more like it will give. How can I say it? It will make the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, like the video more. So it will show the video to more people if you like it. So yeah, if you get value from this video and you also want more people to see this video, like the video, and you can also share it to friends. Yeah, if you want to help them, if you know a friend or some family member that has bad mental health, I'm sure this video can help them. Give me some feedback about how I can improve my videos in the comments. If you want to make me to make a certain video about a certain team, tell me in the comments. Yeah, don't run away from discomfort, chase it.